the young and the restless spoilers. Chance Chancellor found himself at a crossroads, holding the very evidence that could unravel the entire case and send Sharon Newman to prison. The discovery of Sharon's necklace, stained with Heather's blood, left no doubt in his mind that she had been involved in Heather's death. It wasn't just any piece of jewelry, it was undeniable proof of a violent struggle, one that ended in tragedy. With this damning evidence in his hands, Chance was confronted with a moral and professional dilemma that weighed heavily on his conscience. For weeks, Chance had been quietly conducting his investigation, piecing together the events leading up to Heather's death. He had his suspicions about Sharon for some time, but the moment he found her blood-stained necklace in Daniel's home, everything fell into place. Sharon had been hiding the truth, manipulating everyone around her to avoid suspicion. And yet, Chance had kept the evidence to himself, hesitating to make it public. He wasn't ready to act, at least, not yet. The reality was that exposing this evidence would shatter lives, not only Sharon's but also Daniel's and Lucy's. Daniel, an innocent man, was about to take the fall for a crime he didn't commit. He was already preparing for prison, believing that the mounting evidence against him was insurmountable. And Lucy, who had already lost her mother, was on the verge of losing her father too. Revealing the truth could save Daniel, but it would also destroy Sharon, someone who had once been close to Chance. He wasn't sure if he could be responsible for sending her to prison, knowing the devastation it would cause. When Chance finally confronted Sharon in private, he hoped against hope that she would deny it, that there would be some other explanation for the blood on her necklace. But his worst fears were confirmed. Under the weight of his interrogation, Sharon broke down and confessed to the crime. She admitted that she had killed Heather, though it wasn't premeditated. She claimed it had been an accident, a struggle that spiraled out of control. Sharon, desperate to avoid prison, pleaded with Chance to keep her secret. She didn't want to go to jail, and she knew that if Chance exposed the truth, her life would be over. For Chance, hearing Sharon's confession was like a punch to the gut. He had hoped he was wrong, that perhaps he had misjudged the situation, but now the truth was out in the open, and there was no turning back. As a cop, he had a duty to uphold the law, to bring justice to those who deserved it. But now, that very duty conflicted with his own personal feelings, and with the devastating consequences this revelation would bring. Should he turn in the evidence and let the legal system take its course, knowing that Sharon would be imprisoned and Daniel would be freed? Or should he bury the evidence, allowing Daniel to be wrongfully convicted, but sparing Sharon from a life behind bars? It was a decision that no one could make lightly, and Chance felt the weight of it crushing him. To complicate matters further, Chance was keenly aware of the ripple effects this decision would have on his own life. If he went public with Sharon's confession and the necklace, his own career could be jeopardized. People would ask questions: why had he waited so long to come forward with the evidence? Why had he kept it a secret? Some might accuse him of being too close to Sharon, of letting his personal feelings cloud his judgment. His reputation as an officer of the law was on the line, and one wrong move could ruin everything he had worked so hard to build. Yet, as he stood in front of Sharon, her eyes pleading with him to stay silent, he couldn't shake the image of Daniel's family. Lucy had already been through so much, losing her mother and facing the impending loss of her father. Could Chance really allow Daniel to take the fall for a crime he didn't commit, knowing full well that Sharon was the true culprit? The very thought of it made him sick to his stomach. Daniel was an innocent man, and justice demanded that the truth come out. But then there was Sharon. Chance had known her for years, and despite everything, a part of him still cared about what happened to her. She had made terrible choices, but did that mean she deserved to spend the rest of her life behind bars? Sharon's confession had shaken him to his core, and now, he wasn't sure what the right thing to do was. Chance left his meeting with Sharon more conflicted than ever. He had the power to change everything with a single action, but the consequences of that action were far-reaching. He needed time to think, to weigh his options before making a decision that could change the course of several lives. The evidence, for now, remained hidden. He hadn't shared it with anyone, not the police, not Phyllis, not Danny. He wasn't ready to expose the truth, not yet.